morning, y'all. It is Saturday, October 1st. We're back in the hay bale blind this morning. We've been pretty busy. Right before first light this morning, I had two small bucks, I think a 3-point and a 4-point in her toe, come into the plot. But they were looking back out in this field, and sure enough, one of the 8-pointers we saw yesterday afternoon was not even 15 yards right here in the sorghum. We watched him for, about 15, 20 minutes or so, and he was working back behind me. I thought he was going to win me. The wind's going back that way, but I don't think he ever did. I was hoping he would cut across the plot, but he never did. I had to let my draw down, and by the time he took a right to go back in the timber, he was about 40 yards or so, and I just wasn't comfortable taking that shot. We're going to give it about another hour in here. I think it's the opener out there for the Midwest guys, so good luck to those guys. Who knows, maybe they already got a stud on the ground. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with me. If we don't see anything else, we're going to get out of here, get some food, maybe go tear a stand down and bring it back to this point over here and put it up and maybe hunt out of it this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to Midwest Whitetail Southeast Show.
Welcome back to Midwest Whitetail. It's the evening of September the 29th, and I just crawled back in this blind just in the nick of time. I'm back in the same spot I hunted this morning, and of course I saw 19 different deer. I had 19 different deer in the field at the same time, and as far as I know, none of those deer were spooked by me whatsoever. Now, this is Thursday evening. Tuesday evening, I had a shooter buck in this field with plenty of daylight, like over an hour of daylight if I remember correctly. So every time I hunt here, I feel like I'm one sit closer to getting a shot at one of these bucks. But there's probably at least 3 that I know of that I would shoot. Not going to be too picky about the first one. We get 2 tags in Tennessee. Mature buck with a bow and arrow is just what the doctor ordered. I'll take that first one and then maybe we'll get picky with the other one, but I think it'll be a good evening. I hope the wind treats me okay. Yesterday evening, Lee and I hunted a different farm with this same wind. We had a north-northeast strong like it is today, and it didn't do us any favors. I'm hoping that with this land being a little flatter, that the wind will be more consistent. Maybe it won't swirl so bad on me, and get our first opportunity of the 2022 season. Little buck's back out too. That's the buck from this morning. We're running out of daylight on September the 29th. Down to about 40 minutes, although it's the best 40 minutes of the day, arguably. It's been pretty uneventful. We've had one small buck that we saw this morning, a doe and 2 fawns that we've also saw every time we've been here. And that's it as far as sightings. After the experience this morning, it makes me want to be back in here again. There's probably no reason I couldn't come tomorrow morning and hunt for a short hunt. So if I decide to go, this is going to be hard to beat. Because again, every day that we come and don't see the bucks, we're one day closer to us being here at the same time. They don't come every day. They're not on any kind of pattern like that, but we're one day closer to getting one, I can tell you that.
Welcome back to Midwest Whitetail. It is September the 16th and we're excited. And the reason we're excited is because it's 8 days away from the opener here in Arkansas. And so we're on our farm here in Arkansas. It's a permission piece that we have. We've been hunting it for 3 or 4 years now. And we're just coming today to do some last minute projects before the season starts. This is probably maybe an 80-acre farm. It's all ag, but the beautiful thing about this piece of property is it borders some public ground, and so we're able to hunt the private and the public. So we've seen some good deer over the last few years here. We have a few on our hit list for this coming year. We'll talk to you about that a little bit later. The only bad thing about this farm, it's a lot of hogs here. Matter of fact, when we were driving up a few minutes ago, we saw a big black thing out in the middle of the field and we thought it was a hog. And it wasn't, it was actually a bear. So now we've got hogs and bears on this piece of property. But nonetheless, we've got some good bucks on here as well. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna try to speed scout a little bit, find some acorns dropping. We wanna put a scrape tree on the side of this field, kind of close to where the deer come out, usually when we're hunting late season. And we're just gonna see what happens. Put the camera on it and see if we can't get some pictures of some good bucks and maybe some of our target bucks show up on this scrape tree. So we're gonna get after it. Hey guys, there's a lot of different ways that I've seen people do these scrape trees, but I opted to cut down a piece of tree behind my house and drill some holes in it. So I drilled 4 holes in it, kind of at various places, depending on how I want to put it in there, so that I can hang limbs out, and then as the year goes on, I can stick new limbs in there in case they break it off and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get this thing in the ground. Want to make sure it gets down in there. I'll pack it down a little bit, get a stick. We can get a big old buck to come out right here this year. That'd be absolutely wonderful. I think we can fit one right here. Let's see what's the other one. I'm gonna have to cut this one. And I'm gonna put it on this side right here and let it kind of hang out this direction. That's gonna be a pretty good scrape tree. All right, you know, a lot of times you look and they kind of pull it in looks like a V. There's a lot of hog sign in here, but this right here is what we're looking for. Look at that. That ain't no hog, that's a deer. So we're excited about that. They're in here, we just gotta pin them down. Well, we found a few little pin oaks. I guess that's pin oaks dropping, but not very much sign as far as acorns are concerned on the south end of the property. Hopefully the north end of the property will have better luck finding some acorns. But one of the things I wanted to do before we left today is kind of give you a rundown of where we're going to be hunting this coming up year. Obviously, if you've been watching the videos, you have seen us trying to manicure a new farm that we bought in Mississippi, White Oak Ridge. Right now, we're doing our very best, kind of late in the game, to get everything ready over there. We've got some deer coming in, but we don't have any shooters on camera yet. Of course, that's par for the course over there. We knew that it was going to be a little bit later in the season, much like it is here in Arkansas on this particular farm. We've been hunting this for several years, and last year we saw 2 deer that we would definitely shoot. One of them was a 3.5-year-old 6-point. So we're gonna be after him this year. He's probably gonna be about 16, 17 inches wide, just a mainframe 6-point. 4.5-year-old, so we're gonna smoke him if he comes out. And then we have another deer that we call the split two buck. Hunter actually saw him at the end of the season last year, and he was too far for him to shoot. So those are 2 target deer that we have on this particular piece of property. Of course, we're gonna take trips. I've got a ton of deer on our farm in Kansas that we lease. Last year, the end of the season, I had already tagged out, and I was hunting on a big bean field, and I saw a ton of bucks on that bean field that are gonna be awesome this year. The sad part for me is I didn't get drawn for Kansas, and so I'm gonna have to watch my 2 buddies hunt all those big bucks, and I'm just gonna jump across the line and hunt in Missouri this year. I'll be taking a trip to Texas in middle of October, kind of a birthday trip for me, so I'm excited about that. I've killed some really good deer over the last several years in Texas on a friend of mine's place, so we're excited about that. And of course, we're excited about hunting Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Missouri, and we're just gonna be hunting a lot, but a lot of times here in the southeast, it starts really slow. And so we want you guys to kind of bear with us in the early season. We're going to try to shoot a few does, and hopefully later on in the season, we'll be able to shoot some bucks and get those down on camera for you so you'll be able to enjoy the hunts with us. But we really do appreciate you guys watching Midwest Whitetail Southeast today. We'll see you the next time.